when people migrate, everyone that migrates is going to leave someone behind, and loved ones. It's going to be the parents, a lot of the times the children, either the mother or the father. It happens very often that they have to leave children behind. Not rarely, very little children. It's not rare for the father to leave his partner pregnant and they don't know the child. And then unfortunately, because most of the migration we're talking about today from Mexico to the US, labor migration is actually going to be undocumented, especially if they're coming to the cities. But because they are undocumented, they cannot visit or travel back home as much as they would like. So sometimes the separations of the couples can be as long as 7, 10 years is an average. 12 wouldn't be rare, because you cannot risk the migration, and then crossing through the border is very dangerous, very expensive.
And you need money to pay for airplane tickets. And many times people who are here will use whatever money they can gather to send it home, right? So that's critical in terms of studying communities that have high immigrant populations. So much of what they earn doesn't is spent trying to provide for family living elsewhere. So that obligation to provide for someone is how they show their connection, how they show their love, and how they maintain that responsibility towards their loved ones. Send money home. Maintaining a relationship across borders is very difficult. If recently one of my godsons Skyped his father for the first time, and he's in college now. So he said, I just Skyped my father. I haven't seen him in years. Right? And it's tragic and it's sad, but at the same time, we're like, technology. My entire family, with the exception of one uncle and his kids, live in Mexico. So it is through technology that we say we love you. Here's a picture. Here's a meal that if you were here, I would be sharing with you. So we're engaged in photography of food, right? Or sharing our music. All that is done through YouTube and Facebooking. Even to say happy birthday, we do it with mañanitas through a YouTube video. For me as a social scientist, using my research to write about the impacts of families being separated by deportations and border security, the goal is to not separate families, to see families love each other and freely move across borders because they have the right papers that are required to cross the border, right? That the immigration policies should not be fragmenting our families. And we see a lot of that here. Anytime someone's detained and deported, it fragments a family. It affects children profoundly when someone's parents been deported.
How so? More specifically?
Well, you don't have a mom or a dad at home at night to hug you and love you and protect you, right? There's a lot of trauma. There's lots of crying. You don't have a breadwinner anymore. Tremendous poverty. If the breadwinner, it depends if it's the mother or father, is detained and deported, then you have no one to provide food at your table, and the parents are in such distress.
The love is still there between parents and children, but the real memories and the real everyday life is not there. So there can be a lot of depression or emotional pain from this forced separation. That in the eyes of the father and the mother, they're doing it for love. They're doing it because of the kids, because they care about them. But in the eyes of the kids, they may understand that cognitively, but emotionally they're like, oh, my mom left me. She's not dead. She says she's gonna come back, but she hasn't come back, and it's been 10 years. So it's very hard for the children.
So the transnational family ties are possible when people have a need to connect and feel rooted and feel connected, like I have a homeland that I belong to.
Que te sigo amando